Hey everybody, I just wanted to get on here real quick and share a video with you. Just do kind of like a little quick update about what's been going on in Honduras, and then also share a message with you that we've been kind of going over at our church. So I just wanted to get on here and do that. I'm actually going to start with the message today and what we've been sharing at the church. That way, then now I could do the announcements afterwards about stuff that's coming up and some upcoming events and stuff that you guys might want to know about and to have you mark your calendars for. But first, I want to start with the message. At our church, we've been talking about the parables of Jesus and going over the different parables of Jesus. And well, this last Sunday, we actually went up and did a baptism service up in a town that's about an hour and a half away. They have this hot springs area that's great for baptisms, and so we went and did a baptism service and a church picnic, and that was really great. Getting to see some people of the church get baptized and welcoming new members to Christ's family was great. And so now. The week before that, though, we shared about the mustard seed, and so I was going to share that message. And the mustard seed is actually talked about in three of the four Gospels in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. It's in three of the four. The mustard seed is mentioned in that. And I'm going to look at the one we talked about at our church that I shared about was the one in Luke 7 in Luke chapter 17. The mustard seed is mentioned there, but it starts off with Luke chapter 17, verse 1, the first couple verses, and it says. And it says here, I'll read it to you. It says, "He said to his disciple, 'Temptations to sin are sure to come, but woe to the one who they come. It would be better for him if a millstone were hung around his neck and he were cast into the sea than that he should cause one of these little ones to sin.'" And so right there, he's kind of talking about that temptation is going to come. And in our lives, we need to be careful, because what he's really saying here is that in our lives, with what we do and how we act and how we treat other people in our lives, we have one of two things we're going to do. We're either going to be pointing people towards Jesus or pointing people away from Jesus. And that's what we see here, and that's what he says in this verse is like, be careful with what you do. Temptation is always going to be there, but woe to the person that leads another one to sin. He said it'd be better if you had a millstone, like a rock, put around your neck and you'd be thrown into the river or an ocean than for you to cause another person to sin. So he's telling his people just to be mindful of what you're doing. And what I think about this, when I hear this, is I can't help but think about the idea that no matter whether we like it or not, when we are living our lives and we are going through, whether it's at work or school or wherever you're doing, living your life, when we live our life, somebody is watching. There's always somebody who's watching. It might be a coworker, a friend, a classmate, or even a teacher or something like that. So they're always watching to see how we're going to react to things and how we are going to live our lives. So what he's saying is to be mindful of that. Be mindful of how we react and how we interact with other people, because we could either be leading people towards Christ, what we do, or leading them away. And he says, "Woe to those who are leading people away from me." And he goes on to talk about that, and he talks to his disciples about that, and he's saying, just be mindful of what you're doing, what you're letting people see, and who you're leading people to. Are you leading them to me or away from me? And I couldn't help but think that there's a story that when I was preparing for this that I read about a missionary missionary family, that the wife and husband went down to Peru, and they were going to witness to the people of Peru, and that a lot of these people had never heard of Christ before, and they went down there to do this mission, and they go down there and they go to share the gospel with these people, and eventually the husband of the family ends up getting killed, and so they murder him, and so that's really a tragic event. So the people they went to go save end up killing the husband. Well, they go back to the States. They end up having the funeral and all stuff, and then after the funeral's over, the wife begins to say, "Well, I'm going to get ready to go back," and she says she's going to go back to Peru. Now, I know there's a lot of people that were probably thinking, you know what, you went down there, you did, but look what happened, and there was probably a lot of people trying to talk her maybe out of it and stuff like that. But she just said, "I have a chance to either lead people towards Christ or away with them with my reaction to what happened." And she said, "The best thing I can do is to go back down." And so she took herself and her daughter and went back to Peru and continued to serve the people, the same people that ended up murdering her husband. She went back there and continued to serve them and continued to have a great success serving down there. And so we just see that it is just crazy. Like, what could make a person want to do that? What could make a person want to serve someone who hurt them? What could make a person like us in our lives want to forgive those who hurt us and help us move on and everything? And I think sometimes when we hear stories like that one, and we hear other stories kind of similar to it, we think, wow, what a great big faith that person has. And I think the reason we do that is, in our world today, I think that we have this thing that the bigger it is, the better it is. I mean, we look at it now. Like, look at fast food restaurants. You can upgrade your meals, and you can get the bigger size meal, the bigger size drink, the bigger TV we have, the better. The bigger wheels we have on our car, the better. So we seem to think that bigger is better. But what we're going to see in this story today is that Jesus is kind of going with the attitude of maybe bigger isn't better, right? And so we see here that we have that mentality that bigger is better, and we think that when we hear stories about, like what I just shared, about someone going back and serving, even though it's tough and difficult, or in that situation, she lost her husband, but she still decided to go down, we're like, what a big faith she should have. But I don't think that's what it really was. And what we're going to see, why I believe that, is if we continue to read in Luke 17, they say, he gives that warning about it'd be better to not be a person. It'd be better for you to tie a rock around your neck and throw yourself into a river or ocean than to lead someone astray. But the apostles say, Lord, then increase our faith. We want that kind of faith. We want a great faith. We want a big faith, and increase it. And look at what Jesus' response is. He says, if you had the faith like the grain of a mustard seed, you could say to that mulberry tree, be uprooted and planted in the sea, and it would go. So what Jesus says right here, he goes, if you guys just had even a grain of a mustard seed, and if you don't know, mustard seed are very, very tiny little seeds. And yes, they do, if you planted it, they can grow into massive bushes and stuff. But the mustard seed is so tiny, they say it could take anywhere up to like 700 to 800 mustard seeds to make up like 1 gram worth of mustard seeds. So he said, if you just had that much faith, just a little bit of faith in me, you could say to that tree, get up here and go throw yourself in the sea, and that tree would listen to you. So what Jesus is telling the men right there is this. He's saying to them, it is not the size of your faith that matters. It's who you put your faith in that matters. And I remember reading about an interview from that lady that her husband was killed in Peru, and she decided to take her daughter, and they went down there and served for years and had a lot of success and got to see God do some amazing work down there. They asked her, how did you go back? What made you go back, and what is the secret to your success, I guess, kind of thing. Like, how did you do this? And her answer was really amazing to me. She said, the key to this is to make yourself small and make God big. If you really want to see God move in your life and in the actions that you're doing, make yourself small and make Him big. And I think so much of our world today, even in our advertisement and what people post and what people are saying and stuff like that, it's all about trying to make ourselves bigger, trying to make ourselves more important. But the real truth of it is, if we really want to see God move and see some things done, we have to make ourselves small, like that mustard seed. And if we just had even just a mustard seed size of faith, and we put that all in God and make Him bigger, we are going to see God move in amazing ways. And so what I love is the whole idea of the story of that it's not the size of our faith that matters, but it's who we put our faith in that matters. I don't see God do the things He's done down here in Honduras because I've done a very big work. It's because I've trusted God, and there's been days, I'll admit, it's been a mustard seed of faith, but I've had that mustard seed of faith, and I've said, I've made myself smaller and made God bigger. And God has done things like helping our students walk that couldn't walk, helping our students talk that couldn't talk. Kids are reading and writing that couldn't do that before. And that's because I made myself small and made God bigger. And one of those stories that I shared about this that really hits me in my heart when I think about this idea is when I went on my first missions trip into Mexico. We had been there for a couple days, and I really hadn't done much, right? And so I was kind of in my room. Honestly, if I'm going to be honest with you, I was probably in my room having a pity party for myself, thinking, why am I even here? Why did I come on this trip? I haven't done anything. I'm not useful. And I was just having this whole kind of like pity party. And I remember when I was having that time in the morning while I was having my quiet time, I was just thinking, why am I here? What am I doing? I remember God clearly speaking to my heart and asking the question, who did you come here for? Did you come here for yourself, or did you come here for me? And I remember that hitting my heart and me realizing how selfish I was sounding by being like, oh, it was about me and what kind of impact am I having and everything. And that's why I'm really, really against people that will say stuff about missions and be like, well, I want to go have a bigger impact. I want to go somewhere where I can have a bigger impact. And I'm just like, but there again, you're making it about you. It's not about you. And what it is about is let's make ourselves small and make God bigger, because he says here clearly in Luke that if we just had the faith of the size of a mustard seed, we would see amazing things done. And I remember after I kind of stopped worrying about, oh, me, and my impact, and just said, okay, God, I'll do what you asked me to do, I was able to see God use me more in Mexico, and I got to see some amazing things, and it was a great trip, and it really changed my life, and it really kind of started off, kicking off the road to us coming down to Honduras and living our life on mission was through that. But I don't know if I would have got there if I would have just kept focusing on me and trying to make myself bigger and try to make my impact bigger, because it's not your impact you should be worried about. It's God's impact. What impact and legacy are you moving on with God? And I think that we can be leading people to God or away from him. And like I said, I see people who go to other countries, and then I guess it's a new trend where they make videos where they kind of talk about things in that country, but almost in a making fun of it way. Like, oh, look at these drinks they have here. Look at this they have here. And they kind of make fun of it. I just want to ask the question, how are you leading people to God with that video where you're making kind of fun of something in their country? But there again, it's because you think the impact is about you. And really, it should be about the people. Because I can tell you, I know people say, oh, I want to go somewhere where they speak the language, or I could do this, because then I can have a bigger impact. Well, I can tell you here, guys, I've learned Spanish, and that my Spanish continues to grow, and I did it. But when I came down here, I didn't know hardly any Spanish. But I just said, God, use me any way you can. And I just loved and served people, even though there was that communication breakdown. I loved and served people, and I was able to see God use me in different ways, because I was willing to make myself smaller and him bigger. It didn't matter that I couldn't speak the language. I can still have an impact because I make myself small and I make God bigger. And so when we're looking at that idea of the mustard seed, the main thing I want people to remember is this, is it's not the size of your faith that's important. It's who you put your faith in that matters and everything. And so, and again, like I said, it sounds kind of harsh when Jesus says it, but he says it's better for a person to wrap a stone around his neck and jump into the water than to lead people astray. And so when I say this again, the two things I challenge people with this is to remember is, it's not the size of your faith that's important. It's who you put your faith in that matters. And in your life, no matter whether you like it or not, whether you accept it or not, people are watching you. They are going to watch how you react, how you love, how you serve, and they're either going to be pointed towards Christ by that or pointed away. So what is your life doing? Is it pointing people towards Christ, or is it pointing people away? What are your posts doing on Facebook? Are they pointing people towards Christ or pointing people away from him? And remember, he says, if we just had a faith the size of a mustard seed, we could see him move in a big way. So how do we make our impact bigger? It's not by being able to speak the same language. It's not by being able to understand everything in the thing. That's not, because that's about us. That's us focusing on us. How do we have a bigger impact? We make ourselves smaller and we make God bigger. And when we do that, we will see God move in ways that we never thought imaginable before. Like I said, when we came down to Honduras, we just thought we would maybe start a program with an established school for kids with special needs and just have a program. We are right now getting ready to wrap up our 8th year of our academy, and we're preparing to have our second graduation. It will be our third student who's graduated from our academy this year. Anthony, who's been with us, will be graduating. And how is that possible? Because we made ourselves small and we made God big, right? And that's what we need to remember with the mustard seed, is just that little bit of faith, as long as it's in the right person, can do major things. And speaking of that, with the graduation of Anthony coming up, leads me to our next thing, where I'll be share with you guys some things that are coming up. Of course, we are now in May. We are just a little over a month away from our Giving and Sharing Night. For you guys who maybe don't follow us all the time, our Giving and Sharing Night's really kind of our one big fundraiser we do every year to get ready to be able to come back and do another year down here in Honduras. We set goals that we have, and of course, things are going up in price, plus having to pay helpers for our school. So we have one big fundraiser every year that's called our Giving and Sharing Night, and that'll be on June 10th on Facebook Live. And we get on here and we share what's been going on the last year. You get to hear from our whole entire family. You get to hear from not just me, like you have to in these videos, but you get to hear from Alicia and Austin, and you get to hear from Drew about what's been going on with him at college. He's been rocking it at college. And you all even have a time to ask questions. You can get on live. We do it on live on Facebook Live, like what I'm doing right now. You can send comments and questions, and we will answer those questions for you guys. And then what we do is any person that donates $30 or more, or signs up this year to support us for at least the next year at $30 a month, you'll be entered to win a prize. And we have like 11 or 12 great prizes that we're giving away: gift certificates to Amazon, Texas Roadhouse, Chick-fil-A, Buffalo Wild Wings. We have got some great prizes we're giving away. Chicken and pickle prize set. And we got some great prizes that we're going to give away. And every person that donates at least $30 towards helping us reach our goal that night, or will agree to sign up to support us at $30 a month for the next year, will be entered to win one of those prizes. And so that's what the Giving and Sharing Night is, and that is our, like I said, our one big fundraiser to help us get ready for this next year. Our goal for that fundraiser is $4,000, and we're including in that, we are needing about $300 more a month of monthly support right now, because we've lost 2 or 3 supporters for different reasons. It's all completely understandable. We know that happens and stuff, and we love those people who supported us and are grateful for their support. But we are needing to kind of make up that support that we've lost, and so we are needing about $300 more. But so that would just be we were needing 10 people to say that, hey, I can do $30 a month. If 10 people would sign up to do $30 a month, that's our $300 a month we need. And I've already had one person write me and say that they have agreed to step up their giving $30 a month. So now we really only need 9 more people to say that they could do $30 a month for the next year, and we'd get to where we would need to go for our monthly goal. But like I said, our overall goal is like $4,000, but in that money, I'm counting the monthly support in that. It's not we need $4,000 and $300 on top. It's all included together. So, all right. So that is coming up. So pray for that. That is June 10th. It'll be at 5 o'clock Colorado time, 6 o'clock Central. And stuff like that on Facebook Live. You just hop on, watch our show, and do that, and then it'll be on for 30 days afterwards. If you aren't able to make it that night to it, you can go back and watch and see what we say. You can hear the answers to our questions. It's going to be on there for about 30 days afterwards. You can go and find out more. That also means we are getting ready to come back to the States. We are coming back June 9th. And we'll be back in the States until August 17th was when we'll head back. We are finishing up year number 10, guys. This is just crazy. We're wanting to kind of celebrate big this summer because we just finished 10 years of serving in Honduras. There's times when I feel like we just moved down here, and it's just crazy to me that we are wrapping up year number 10. And so we are going to be speaking at several different churches. We love our supported churches and all the people in those churches. Like I said, I have posted the church schedule on there. I'll post it again on Facebook, so that way you know where we're going to be each Sunday. But I'll tell you right now, I know June 14th we're going to be at Galatia Baptist Church in Galatia, Illinois. We're super excited about being there. On the 21st of June, we'll be down in Georgia. We're going to do a Georgia trip again, kind of visit some places down there. And we're going to be at Crossroads Baptist Church on June 21st. On June 28th, we are going to be at Mount Zion Church in I think it's in Dublin, Georgia, everything. And so we're excited about being there. And on that Saturday night, actually the 27th, I believe there's going to be an event at Bethsaida Baptist Church where we'll be at getting to see some people and share there. And so we're excited about that. Then we will, after our Georgia Florida trip, we'll be coming back and we'll be in St. Louis for about the whole entire month of July. And so July, I believe it's 5th. Yeah, July 5th, we'll be at Life Point Church in O'Fallon. July 12th, we're going to be at Expansion Northwest, their Northwest campus. They have two campuses, Expansion Northwest. On the 19th, we'll be at the other Expansion in South City. We love both those churches and the pastors there. They're such a blessing to us. And then on the 26th of July, we'll be at Home Church in Arnold, Missouri, and getting to be with Pastor Patrick and his wife and that group. And we love everybody at Home Church. And then on the August 2nd, we'll be with Pastor Rhonda and the amazing people at Hawk Point Community Church. We love them and how much support they have shown us and how much love they show us every time when we come back. Then after that, we will be heading back to Colorado and be going to Colorado and spending a week or two, about 10 days or so in Colorado. Getting to just kind of be with my family and getting to see our son and kind of getting him ready for his senior year, guys. I can't believe it. Drew's going to be having his senior year of college this next year. He'll be graduating a year from today. He'll be graduating almost. Well, I think it's May 9th or 8th or something like that next year. But so that's coming up real soon. So that's our summer. And, of course, in between those churches and our trips, we would love to see people and hang out, have some dinners with you, get together with you guys, have a coffee. So if you'd like to get together with us and see us this summer, you can message Alicia or myself and all stuff and let us know that you'd like to get together. And we'd love to get together and hang out with you guys and see you and just share with you what's going on and hear what's been going on in your life and everything, because we know that there's probably been some stuff going on in your lives and we'd like to hear that too. So we look forward to that. So that's some stuff that's coming up. So please keep us in prayer for our graduation that's coming up here in a couple of weeks. We are finishing up our last 3 weeks of school. And on May 21st, we'll be having our graduation and our award ceremony for our kids at our school, where we give them an award for completing the year. We also have the top 3 awards for best attendance. And this year, we're giving out the first award for excellence in math, because I teach math class to about 6 of our students. I have been teaching them math, and we're going to give an award for excellence in math this year to one of our students who's been doing a great job in math class. That's a really hard choice to pick, because we have 3 or 4 kids that have just been rocking it this year in my math class, and so we'll be giving that award away. So please pray that evening goes well. We have the mayor that said he's wanting to come. We have the Department of Education in Yamagila that said they're wanting to come to the graduation. So we're just hoping that it'll be a really great graduation and that we can bring honor to Anthony, who's been a great student for us, and that it could be a blessing to him and his family. And then after that, it's just pray that we just have a good time wrapping up here. We're going to have church almost every Sunday in May, except for this next Sunday, because it's Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to any mothers who end up watching this video. We're not going to have church on Mother's Day because people travel to go see their moms and be with their moms. But after that, we are going to have church every Sunday in May to kind of wrap up before we go. And like I said, then we'll be traveling on June 9th to the States, so please pray that we can make connections and that every flight takes off and that we can get through TSA. I don't know if they're still having issues with that and all that stuff, but just pray that we can get there safely. So thank you guys. If you watched the video this far, thank you so much. I know it's a little bit longer video, but I just wanted to give those updates. Like I said, I'll be posting the church dates that we'll be at there. We'll also be doing postings about the giving and sharing night to let people know, and probably sending some messages out to some of you guys personally, stuff like that. But guys, we thank you so much for everything that you do. We are so honored and blessed to have so many people behind us, praying for us, supporting us, encouraging us, and we love each and every one of you, and we'd love to see as many of you as possible this summer. So thank you again for helping us make it 10 years, guys. It's because of people like you that we've been able to do it. Thank you. And together, I just want to share one more time, guys. If we just have that mustard seed of faith, because remember, it's not the size of our faith that matters, it's who we put our faith in. All right, love you guys. God bless.